Greetings, magical souls. I hope everybody's doing well with this full moon and all the wild energies. I've been a little bit tired the past couple of days, but otherwise good. So this is, it feels like a continuation of the message from the one I posted the other day, with specific reference to those that were on the Dragon Initiation event with Sarah Ariana and Ananda Rose, but also just for the collective. So just delivering this message. So on yesterday morning, which was my Sunday morning, I was woken at 2:30 a.m. and there was a nagging message trying to come through. Eventually at 4:30, I got out of bed and I wrote for an hour and a half. So I wanted to just process this before I came on and shared it, because with the way I wrote it, I couldn't quite wrap my head around some of it. But anyway, here I am. So it's just setting the intention for the energy behind my words to be conveyed again. And there is quite an important message in here from the dragons. And when I look at it now, it seems it feels a little bit silly, but again, that's my mind telling me that. But I know how I felt when it came in, and that's what's becoming more important, is how we feel rather than how we think. So just feel into the message. The beautiful thing that I also want to share is that just before I was woken, I was riding my dragons, like all of them, like getting off one, we were kind of playing somewhere, and it was quite beautiful. And if I was on the back of one, the others were all there. It really was, it was quite a fascinating place to be. I was aware of it, and again, didn't feel quite like a dream, felt like a bit more than that, but it was quite beautiful. So the message is that the love that's been reawakened within us, so that way that we are feeling about our dragons, where a lot of us are quite overwhelmed and almost tearful, is going to help us to feel into that space before we act or speak. So mindfulness is also going to be becoming more important as things continue to collapse and or transform. And you'll see why as the message progresses. Again, there was a reminder to just become the watcher of your thoughts and feelings. The true self will continue to emerge, and to remember that we are not our thoughts and feelings. We are bigger than that. We are the watcher. If you're feeling fiery, which is also something that can have been activated by the dragons, to just be reminded to take a breath, to pause, and settle into this beautiful heart space, and then respond. The dragons are within, their energy is within. And there was a reminder that we have everything we need within us. And the message that's come through very, very strongly is that we need to start being in our heart, following our hearts, and being very much in the body. So as we reconnect to the true self, our power will rise and start to come more and more to the fore. As we take our power back from outside and reclaim it from within, which was alluded to in the prior video, we stand more in our own light. And what part of the dragon's purpose is to help us temper that. Because as our power comes more online, because we've been so disconnected from it, is that that power can actually almost be a little bit overwhelming for us energetically. So if we are feeling that power rising and almost like it's a little bit hard to calibrate, or we might even start feeling some kind of anxiety and that kind of thing, it's a reminder to pause, settle into the heart, but also call on the dragons. They are big in size, and even the ones that are little in size have a very big energy. And they can help us to almost integrate that energy, that power that's coming online. They can help us to temper that, to balance it, and to integrate it. It's really just as we come into our self-mastery that this is something that might take a bit of getting used to, I guess, is the essence of their message. I was also reminded of the saying that with great power comes great responsibility. And their message to us was, you have no idea how powerful you are. And it may be that your system feels a bit overloaded as you continue to step into and reconnect with your inner power, your true power, and all the forgotten memories, be these held within your DNA or within the subconscious. Practice self-care and listen. Listen to your heart and listen to your body. Take time out when you need it and remember to ask for help. Energy work in the body will become more and more necessary as we progress, some days more than others. But listen to the body because it knows what it needs. Be still, be mindful, be present. And in each moment of presence, you will find you have all the tools and all you need in those moments. And all the memories and the tools are there in the presence of yourself. Trust and allow. You don't need to do it. The body knows what it needs. Allow the body to tell you what it needs and allow your heart to guide you. As more of your true self comes into the body, when the mind is overloaded, which it will be, remember that you find peace in being present in the body, in the heart, trusting and allowing the process. As if you trust and allow, the systems will self-regulate because the body is a self-regulating, self-tuning instrument, and they will take care of themselves, and there will be no need for fear and anxiety. But when you start to feel the vastness of the true essence of you really settling into the body, it can feel very, very big, but the heart is so expansive that it is able to cope with this and it will expand as needed. The body is also able to do this. It is the perfect vehicle for you to expand into yourself and to embody your true self. Whereas the human mind may not have this expansiveness. So the message here is to remain in your heart. Know that you are not your thoughts and emotions. Remember to find your breath and sleep and rest as often as you need to. Our connection has served to help you step into the vastness of the you, the true self. So rely on our size and our power to help you step into yours. Even though you all understand this already, some days are harder than others. The brain may feel like it's lost adrift and that nothing makes sense. Again, we remind you to breathe. Feel your heart beating in your chest. Go within, meditate, find time in nature. Find like-minded souls to talk with and unburden yourself. The fatigue and exhaustion and the magnitude of your rapid expansion may feel too much, and we are here to help you move into that. We can carry and support you. The changes may happen faster now since the initiation. Also the increased energies that are coming in, which are basically because you have been doing all the work. So they are tied together. The energies create our expansion. Our expansion creates more energies coming in. So be aware that certain foods and habits, all sorts of things may change from one day to the next. And you might even find yourself, almost not able to keep up and feeling like, why do I keep changing what I'm wanting to do? It's perfectly natural. Just go with the flow. Go with your intuition and remain fluid and adaptable above all else. Remember that you are energy first. Move the body. You may find yourself wanting to just dance or jump or move or skip or hop. These ways may feel strange to you, but allow the body to process and integrate the light. I realized that there was a lot of repetition there and I was going to take it out. And as I was trying to take it out and almost condense it, I got a message to say this needs to be repeated because there is a way in which it has come through that is important, that will allow people to almost expand, and as the message is repeated, to allow space for more of that. The mind may say that this is all nonsense, but there are huge shifts happening within the body and the energy that the mind cannot comprehend. The mind cannot go there. The mind is not built to understand this, but it doesn't need to. The body and the heart, or the soul, are the vehicles that are going to take us here. The mind may feel at times like it's fracturing or breaking, so be aware. Be kind to yourself. If you continue to be present with the self and acknowledge the changes, you will be able to hold space first and foremost for yourself, and then you will be able to hold space for others. And you're all going to be holding space for others at different times. It may not be easy every day, so be aware and be present. Be easy on yourself and be the love that you are. This is rapid, but you've got this. There is something here also with the downloads and the upgrades. So the dragons find these terms very, very amusing. And it's not to make light of, because we know how hard these upgrades and downloads can be on the physical vessel. But really, what I'm getting from them is that it's a reminder that we are already the perfect beings that we are. The analogy that I'm getting is that when we want to download a file, so in the same way as our downloads, when we want to download a file, we go to somebody's server or somewhere and we click download and we bring it into our space or onto our computer. But that download already exists. It exists wherever that other person has it. So in the same way, when we get a download, it already exists within the quantum field. And we're just tapping into that. So it was a reminder that when we feel like we're getting downloads and that we're improving, we're really just able to tap into that. And although we are improving in our consciousness, it's very hard to get into words. They really want us to remember that these downloads are not improving us. We are just accessing what is already there and what we already do, what we already know, but that we have just forgotten, if that makes any sense. And then the thing with the upgrades is a similar thing, is the upgrade is not necessarily an improvement in the physical vessel. It is more a return to the original blueprint. It is an activation and an energizing and a remembrance and a tapping into the DNA that was already there, that's maybe just been switched off, the memories, all those kinds of things. So I guess with those analogies, what they're trying to get across is that we need to start remembering who we are, but we've always been that, because all possibilities exist in the quantum field at all times. It's just which one we want to tap into. I hope that's made sense. So yeah, wow. Okay. So I think that's it. Just before I went to bed, after writing that down the other night, they said to me that they wanted me to end off this little message with a card. And then I would know which deck I was called to choose from. Now, I came in here, I sat with this, I just neatened my notes a bit because I couldn't read half of what I'd written. And what I did it's this deck here that I chose, which is For the Love of Dragons, and I'll link it in the description box. What is awesome about this deck is that it has an incredibly fairy-like and elemental energy to it. It's fun, it's playful, it's cheeky, it's curious, and I was reminded very much of the importance of our connection to the inner child. And I guess that's part of the reason why the dragons gave me that message, because then they knew that I would convey it here. So for anybody out there who's interested in getting a deck, if you don't have a dragon deck, because there are quite a few, this is an awesome one to start with, because it will really help you be in the space of connecting to that inner child, being curious, playful, and just marveling at the wonder of the world. So what I'll do is I'll show, I will put these cards up while I'm reading so that everybody can just get into the feel of the card. But well, when I say the card, 4 of them flew out and splayed across the table. And I was at first going to just take the top one. And then I realized that I got a message that all 4 need to be read. And what's very interesting is that all 4 of these cards are very, very relevant. So the first one is the Waymaker. Now is the time to call on the Waymaker. We can't always see how something is going to manifest. We light our fires for our intentions. We keep these lit for our plans, never knowing which of our endeavors will burst into the flame of life. Your job right now is to trust your deepest heart where your essence resides, and keep your pursuits focused in the direction of your bliss. Keep all internal fires lit in the name of the truest and most beautiful expression of your life, and then call on the Waymaker. As Joseph Campbell said, when you follow your bliss, doors will appear where there were only walls. I find that fascinating, because we're being called to follow our hearts and we are being called to trust. And this was very much the message in that, the one from the dragons that I've just relayed. And also there is just focusing on our bliss and our truest and purest intentions. The next one was the Confidant. There are times to hold your deepest truth within your molten core. And then there are times like these when you need to express yourself in a safe, protected environment. Seek your trusted allies. Share and let yourself be witnessed and received, whether that is with chosen family, friends, a beloved mentor, or your invisible allies. Some of your greatest protectors are in the realm of the unseen. Confide your truth and express your heart to experience the belonging you are so worthy of. Again, here I'm reminded of us expressing, of us finding our soul tribe, and also reminded to call on the dragons, on your guardian angels, your unicorns, your ancestors. Remember the message that we are not here to carry everything alone. So, and if you cannot speak out loud, if it is a time when you need to hold your deepest truth within you, offload on your unseen friends. Really, really important, okay? Because by trying, if you're feeling like you need to offload, you need to expend that energy in some way, shape, or form, and those words verbally. So find a quiet place that you can go and talk to your unseen friends. The next one was the brave. The brave among us understand the need to occupy the edges of things, away from comfort and security. To be brave, you must be willing to go to the edge of your knowing and make yourself comfortable within the uncomfortable. When we take that risk, we learn to trust our boldness and we get expansive views and an original perspective not possible from the center of the village inside the confines of a familiar life. This also speaks to me about things may get uncomfortable. The mind may not be able to process all of this, that we need to be uncomfortable, we need to trust, and also the boldness. The dragons are really here to help us to step into that, being bold and being big and standing in our power. The last one is the adventurer. There is no holding you back. Now is the time to leap, soar, explore, take a risk, get lost in the right direction, travel, whether along the inner realms of your psyche or the outer realms of experience, for the sake of your heart's bliss. Whatever is calling you forward is real and is asking for your sense of curiosity and adventure. There is no predicting how things will turn out except this. When we adventure, we not only discover new horizons, but we develop new eyes with which to see our known world anew. Now, this card in particular is really, really, again, asking us to step in, to trust. We're needing new eyes to see our new world. And I think that, for me, is the problem with the mind. The mind is programmed still to a large degree. Even I have days where I get stuck in the programming still. And so it really is stepping into that bliss again. We've got that bliss, which is that following your heart and your joy and your passion and doing what calls to you, not what. Don't allow the mind to go, oh, well, I don't know how that's going to work, and that doesn't seem practical. And this is a time for really letting go of the mind, because the mind is not equipped to go where we are going. The heart and the body are. The body is the vehicle in which our soul is in this incarnation, and we cannot be in this plane without the physical body. Otherwise, we would be in spirit. So the body is really important. The body is a very, very, very intelligent technology. And we need to now be more in the body, and we need to be more in the heart. And the heart is also in the body. The mind is in the body, but the problem is that the mind is not able to process the energetic stuff that we are doing. The heart can process it, and the body is designed to process it. I hope that has made sense, and I hope that this, obviously, take what resonates. You may need to sit with this. You may need to listen to it again. As I said, it was a lot even for me. I was just, but the feeling behind this is immense. And I guess I'll just leave you with that final reminder that the dragons have the bigness and the vastness of their energy. We need to call on that remembrance and that frequency, if you will, when our energy is feeling too big. So, and they will help us integrate and balance it and temper it. So, wishing you all a magical week. I'm sure that I will see you quite soon.